Alex and Tommy and the Mystery of the Attic by Oscar Rosado. Copyright 2007. Chapter 1. The Thompson House. At the Thompson House, you can say that the Thompson family is pretty much normal. The man of the house, Thomas Thompson, is a father and a widower. He has two children, Alex and Tommy Thompson. Alexandria Thompson, or Alex as she likes to be called, is a 12-year-old girl who loves mysteries. Her brother Tommy Thompson is a 7-year-old boy who is basically a scaredy cat at most times. Their mother and Thomas's wife, Alice Thompson, had died for 9 months. She died very mysteriously. No one knows how she died. Of course, the family still feels grief about it. The Thompson family lived in a small mountain town named Valerville. The Thompson house was a blue-shaded house with a dark gray-shaded roof. It was like any other suburban house. It had a backyard small and green. It is probably the biggest backyard in the whole neighborhood, and it was always fun in the summertime. The house also has a front lawn, but it's not as big and fabulous as the backyard. As for the inside of the house, it had a huge living room. It basically covered the whole first floor. It had furniture, a television, and a dining table at the side for the family to eat. The kitchen, which was directly next to the living room, was to be the smallest room in the first floor. It only had a little table and cabinets at the corner and a fridge which wasn't as glamorous as the kitchen, but it was nice. Like all families, the Thompson family eats in the kitchen for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and even dessert. That was pretty much the first floor of the Thompson house. As for the upstairs, which can be accessed through the middle of the living room, which was not like the first floor. It was just a narrow hall with rooms. There were 4 rooms upstairs. Alex's room was small and had a regular bed, a mirror and dresser, closet, some poster of hearts, and other girly posters, and even a bookshelf. Alex loves to read books, especially mystery books. She has about 20 books on her shelf, and she would always read whenever she can. As for Tommy's room, his room was more childish. It had a car-shaped bed, and the floor was very messy, with loads of unpicked clothes, and of course tons of toys, and the room was blue-themed. As for Thomas, his room was the biggest bedroom in the house. Considered nowadays, Thomas had the room to himself. It was like a master bedroom. There was also a bathroom upstairs, not that big a room, but the Thompsons use it every day, especially after dinner. Thomas isn't that much of a top chef. There are also 2 closets in the Thompson house, second floor. Yes, the Thompson house has been great for the Thompson family over the years. The Thompson family has been living there for 12 years, and life has always been great. A nice, normal day at the Thompson house would be at 7 o'clock in the morning. The family would get up, brush their teeth, eat breakfast, and then Alex and Tommy would go to school, and Thomas would go to work. Speaking of Thomas's job, he works for a company called Global nearby the town. Thomas works from 9 to 2:30, and Alex and Tommy go to school from 8 to 3. Alex is in 6th grade and has began middle school. As for Tommy, he is in 1st grade and in elementary school. At around 3, the family comes home. At home, Alex reads her books, Tommy plays with his toys, and Thomas cooks dinner. Mostly the 3 just watch television, and Alex and Tommy do their homework. with Alex sometimes helping Tommy with his, sometimes. At 7, the family eats dinner and the family gets ready for bed at 9. 11 on the weekends, so Alex and Tommy. On the weekends, the family would go to town or the park. Depends on the weather. On most evenings or afternoons, Thomas would have to go somewhere important, like his company. He sometimes has to go back to check up his station. Sometimes he just can't bring Alex and Tommy to wherever he's going. Whenever that happens, Thomas calls in a babysitter to take care of Alex and Tommy. The babysitter was Miss Figgerman, and she is described as a somewhat chubby lady always wearing a green dress and always wearing a green hat with flowers. She would be like giving the kids chores or telling them to behave, which they always did. If Miss Figgerman was sick or not around, Thomas would make Alex in charge for a while, and she seemed to have the house along with Tommy under control. Yes, life in the Thompson family has been perfectly normal, and the house was great. However, there was one more room in the house, the attic. Now, the attic of the Thompson house was just like any other attic in the neighborhood. It was dark, cold, and of course, a bit creepy. Of course, at most times, it obviously scares Tommy, although there was nothing up there to be afraid of, except for that one night. Alex and Tommy's normal lives will change forever after that night. It all started on a Friday afternoon at the Thompson house. It was a bright and sunny afternoon, and the Thompson family had just came home. Thomas went to Alex and Tommy's schools, picked them up, and the three came home. The weekend has began at last, and Alex and Tommy couldn't wait for what was going to happen this weekend. The three were about to sit on their couch, but then the phone rang, and Thomas answered it. It was his boss from Global Inc., and he asked Thomas if he could go back to the company for a while. Thomas replied, he'll be there right away. And so he hung up the phone and put back his jacket on, and then spoke to Alex and Tommy once they stood by him by the front door. Speaking of Global Inc., it was a company that provided electricity for the whole town, and Thomas would work in a station to help transport that electricity to the whole town. Kids, I have to go to work again, and, said Thomas. Alex briefly interrupted Thomas. Again? But Dad, how come we can't have fun once in a while? Said Alex. Yeah, Daddy, said Tommy. Thomas took a deep breath and replied to Alex and Tommy. Kids, we talked about this. Without me, there'd be no electricity, and I don't want to let the whole town, including my boss, down, said Thomas. Well, okay, said Alex. Yeah, okay, said Thomas. The two were upset because they never see their dad that much, because Thomas always works. But the two understood. Okay, now Miss Figgerman is going to be a little late, so until she gets here, Alex, you're in charge of the house, said Thomas. Alex then smiled. Okay, Dad, I'll be sure to take care of the house and Tommy, said Alex. Tommy immediately spoke. Hey, said Tommy. No offense, bro, said Alex. Thomas grinned. Okay. Well, bye, kids. See you in an hour or so, said Thomas. Okay, Dad, said Alex and Tommy. Thomas spoke one more time. And listen, guys, I know you two still miss your mother. I just want to let you know. Hang in there, said Thomas. Thanks, Dad, said Alex. Okay, said Tommy. Okay, bye, guys. Love you, said Thomas, as he gave a kiss to Alex and Tommy on the cheek goodbye. Love you too, said Alex and Tommy. Thomas had been left at the front door and left to his company and called Miss Figgerman on his cell phone. Once he left, Alex smiled and quickly turned to Tommy. All right, little bro, you heard that. Until Miss Figgerman gets here, I'm in charge, said Alex sharply.